All right, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Martin, aka the Boxing Purist. Welcome once again to the Truth and Absolute channel, where I speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, good God Almighty. All right, y'all. So before anything, I got to shout out a couple of people that kind of gave me the insight onto something. So I went to do my research so I can make a video for you guys on current boxing news situations going on. So shout out to my man Mitch 353 and the Real Boxing Hub. Thank y'all for the insight. Anyhow, so a couple of things I want to speak on. First, let's start with Mr. Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero. You know, it's funny. Rolly is such a character, you guys. Now, Rolly is a perfect example that this sounds crazy, but you don't got to have the skills to pay the bills, right? You just got to have the mouth to make them go wow. You know what I'm saying? And I only say this because Rolly is there's a lot of fighters out there that are more skilled than Rolly. Now, before I keep going, let me just say I like Rolly. He is entertaining as could be. He makes me laugh on most of his interviews, and he talks some wild stuff that, I couldn't sit down with a pen and a pad and come up with half the trash talking that Rolly does, and it's just funny. The kid's voice, all that kind of stuff. In the boxing ring, he's gritty, but not much skill. He's just tough. He's gritty, but not much skill in there, as we've seen in all 11 fights or whatever he's had. I may be wrong on that, but y'all know what I'm saying. He has not been in the ring that much. He hasn't even been boxing that long. I mean, boxing long. You know what I'm saying? I think he started at 17 or whatever. He's like 26 now. Normally boxers start a lot younger than that. Anyhow, long story short, I saw him on an interview recently where he called Teofimo Lopez, the new 140-pound champ who just got the victory over Josh Taylor, his little sister. So I'm like, why did he call Teo his little sister? Reason being because I've been seeing these dudes in interviews together. I've seen them in videos together. They seem like they're real cool. Teo's dad really likes Rolly, you know what I'm saying? In a interview from in the past, Rolly said it would take $100 million in order for them two to fight. Whatever, it's all over the place, right? Anyhow, so now recently, Rolly's like, Teo's going through some things, mental health issues. I know him really good. I know he's going through this and that. And then he's like, but he's my little sister. I'll be there for him for whatever. Obviously, that was a shot thrown. And then he said it 2 or 3 times in that video. So I'm thinking, what's up with that? Then I went and I looked, and reason being is that Teo had said a little while back, that since Rolly is at 140 and has a belt, that he's standing in Teo's way. Pretty much saying, give up the belt or we're going to have to fight. Now listen, which to me sparked my interest, only because they're both trash talkers. That would be great to see them fight in the ring. Hell, the press conferences alone would be great, right? But I'm thinking, we all know at 140, we want to see the clash between Devin and Teofimo Lopez. At this point, Rolly gets fights simply based off his popularity, not his boxing skill. Let's be real. That fight with Tank had no business being a pay-per-view fight. No business being a pay-per-view fight. I know it's sold because promoters could be great salesmen. The boxing game has changed quite a bit, whatever. I respect that. But in my personal opinion, in all the years I've been watching boxing, that fight had no business being a pay-per-view. Rolly also stated that him and Isaac Cruz, Pitbull, could be a potential clash at 140 for pay-per-view. Once again, I'm going to say, how the hell is he getting pay-per-views? I'll tell you what it is. It's not the skills to pay the bills. It's the mouth to wow the crowd is exactly what it is. So that was kind of funny to me that they're going at it. I wouldn't say going at it. Teo said what he said a while back, and now Rolly's talking crazy, but when is Rolly not talking crazy, right? So that's funny to me. However, I wouldn't mind seeing a potential clash. Not a pay-per-view, but I would like seeing them fight. Next thing I wanted to talk about, Mr. Cash Cow, Mr. Canelo Alvarez. So now, my man that I shouted out, Rich353 and the Real Boxing Hub, both pointed out that, I believe just yesterday, Canelo said, I forget the exact exact thing that he said. I went online, I got it off of a website. Pretty much he said that the reason that he's not fighting David Benavidez yet is because David Benavidez and his dad, pretty much his team, they talk too much. They talk too much garbage. And I don't know if y'all remember, when Lara got the Canelo fight, he approached him in the post-fight interview, and Canelo said, "This is not how you make fights." They ended up making the fight, whatever. But I'm sure after that, Canelo was probably like, "Damn, I let this fool talk himself into a payday." Right? So Canelo's pretty much saying that David has to wait now because they were running their mouths too much. Now, that makes perfect sense because in recent interviews, I've seen José Benavidez Sr., father of David, talking about, he doesn't want to talk bad about Canelo anymore. He doesn't even want to mention Canelo anymore. The tone changed completely. The tone changed completely. Now, you got to remember, Canelo's with PBC now. PBC has a lot of money invested in Canelo right now, way more than they got invested in David. So you got to figure that Papa Al Heyman was probably like, yo, hush, just hush. I got a lot of money invested in this dude, shush. And then Canelo, we all know about the $50 million contract that was sent to him from David Benavidez, which I don't know how true that was yet. Yo, it's hard to wrap my mind around it. Who was putting in for that money? Who was putting that money up for that fight if it wasn't the PBC? Canelo ended up signing with them a little bit after that. That still doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it's just beyond me. I don't know. Now, this is another thing I wanted to touch on. I've seen this happen in the past already. I've seen the same situation play out. I've been watching boxing for a while. Now, to all my boxing heads out there that could remember not even that many years back, when Triple G was on the scene, I wouldn't say barely making a name for himself, but when he was known as the damn destroyer, when he was just knocking out everybody that he fought, some of those names were okay, but he was just knocking out a lot of whatever dudes. But he got all the praise in the world. Now, the reason at the time that bugged me is that although I had respect for Triple G and I knew he was a monster inside of that ring, it bugged me because you had fighters at that time that were active like Andre Ward, who was much more skilled in my opinion, way better fighter, but the recognition was not there. But the damn casual boxing fans were blowing up Triple G like he was the greatest thing ever. I want to say even Floyd was still active at that time. Canelo was already his thing at that time. But somehow, it doesn't matter who Triple G fought, he was the monster. Everyone was scared of him. This and that. When in reality, he wasn't fighting not no necessarily top dudes. He wasn't fighting the top dudes. All the dudes were there. The Charlos were already there. Andrade was already there. There was a lot of fighters that he could have fought at that time. I think, did I say Lara? Lara was there and wanted the smoke. There was a few of them. Andre Ward wanted that smoke. Triple G didn't want it. I know you guys are going to say that's not true. At that time, Triple G said that he would go up to 68 to fight Carl Froch and Chavez Jr., but when they threw Andre Ward's name out there, they said he'd meet him at 64. Just throwing that out there real quick. Long story short, it bothers me when a fighter just holds on to like the shorts of another fighter, but he's the one that's talked about. He's the boogeyman. He's the monster. I've seen this play out, so when I see it going on again with David Benavidez, how David Benavidez could just... Now, let's get this one thing straight. I got to keep it consistent. It's not that I don't like David. David has a crazy high potential. The kid is big. The kid is fast. The kid could bang. He's skilled inside of that ring. I'm not taking nothing away from the Mexican monster. All I'm saying is it bugs me how he has no fight lined up. They're talking about a possible clash with Munguia or Morel, who is... Like, let's be real, y'all. So you're saying that the guy that's setting up fights with this guy is supposedly Canelo's running from him? And when they blow their names up like that, maybe it shouldn't. Maybe I'm being petty. But it tends to bug the crap out of me. How just because his name is mentioned with the face of boxing, all of a sudden, he gets all this stardom. It's like, yo, stay busy. Jump to 175. Do something. You just get to hold on and be the name mentioned with Canelo because of the Canelo haters. Just like at the time, Canelo was running from Triple G. Canelo was running from Triple G. Same thing. Y'all hold on to that and you gain your whole stardom because of that. That just bugs me, y'all. So anyway, now we know what's going on. Again, the day that Canelo shows to duck someone, is the day that I'll be like, okay, maybe he's trying to stay away from that fight. But up to now, he has not given reasons for me to assume that he's ducking anyone. Now we see it coming out, and it makes perfect sense. His dad, David Benavidez' dad, is going silent. So is David. They're not talking trash no more. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Canelo pretty said, hush, and you'll get the fight. Talk and kick rocks. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you guys think about a potential Rolly and Teofimo clash. What do y'all think about Rolly talking trash in general, poking at Teo? And what do you guys think about the whole situation with Canelo? You think it's fair that he's making David wait? You think that David did that to himself? Do y'all think it's fair that David is even relevant, talked about as a monster? I'm not knocking his nickname. I'm just talking about as the monster just because his name is tied onto Canelo, the great hope to defeat Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me know what y'all think. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below. I love talking boxing with y'all. Much love. God bless y'all. Peace.